Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Monique here, and today we're going to be talking about what to do, I guess, how to prepare for going to law school. So, if you want to know what to do and how to prepare for law school, keep watching. So, if you're thinking about going to law school, you really want to focus on grades. First and foremost, that's the first thing you want to focus on is grades. And it doesn't matter where you are at presently in your educational career, wherever you are at, stop and think about what kind of grades you're getting currently and how you can improve those grades. Unless you're getting straight A's, you really want to think about how can I improve these grades? Because I can tell you firsthand that law school application is going to take into account the grades that you received in your lower level educational career, which would account for undergraduate school, high school, and sometimes even middle school. I would say middle school, not as much, high school, not as much, but definitely your undergraduate school grades. So you really want to think about your grades. If you're in middle school or high school and you're watching this video and you want to go to law school, which some people know what they want to do right away, you want to start thinking about how you can improve and how you can raise those grades up so that by the time that you get to your senior year in high school, you've already had the opportunity to review the colleges out there that will accept you because of your grades, and you're thinking about where you can go, because remember, all of this is going to be taken into consideration when you fill out and when you submit that law school application. So you really want to be hyper focused on your grades and just doing the best job possible. Now, is getting a C here and there going to hurt you? Absolutely not. But if you can help it, you want to see if you can, you know, get A's and B's. All A's would be perfect if you can do that. I won't say that grades alone is what's taken into consideration when it comes to acceptance in law school, but it is a huge component along with the LSAT, which we will go over in a little bit. But you really want to be focused, like super focused on your grades and what you can to do to raise those grades at whatever level you're at. So once you feel comfortable with the grades and you're happy with what you're receiving, you're working your butt off, you also want to take into account any extracurricular activities that will look good on a college application resume, essentially. You want to do this because you want to be a candidate for a top college if possible. Now, if you got a full ride scholarship to a lower ranked college, totally fine. That's not going to hurt you. But I'm saying this, I'm saying you probably would want to go to a higher ranked college because again, that's going to be a component that's taken into consideration when it comes to your law school application. So in high school, you really want to do the best that you can, and really your entire educational career, we all should be striving to do the best that we can. But really, starting in high school, we want to do the best that we can so that we can submit those college applications. We want to make sure that we have extracurricular activities on there, volunteering for nonprofit organizations, feeding the homeless, uh, coaching little league baseball teams, whatever it is that you do in your spare time to help the community, you want to make sure you're doing that in high school so that when you're filling out those college applications, the college institution is looking at you like you're a great hot commodity, because not only are you smart, you care about your community. So you want to make sure you've got the grades down. You want to make sure that you have the extracurricular activities down, because again, that's going to be a huge component when it comes to submitting that law school application. Now, once you've gotten to the point where you graduated high school, you know exactly what college you're going to, you're in college, you want to keep that same momentum, you want to get those good grades, you want to continue volunteering, you want to continue helping out your community. And in the meantime, you also want to start studying for the LSAT. The LSAT is the administration, the it's the test that you take prior to going to law school. That's the test that is administered and taken into consideration as it relates to what law school you get into or don't get into. And so during your college career, it's really a pivotal point in your life in terms of your career in general, your legal career, because that's going to help you propel to where you want to be as it relates to your legal career. So in college, get the good grades, continue to volunteer, try to find out as try to find out as much as you can as it relates to the law school you're thinking about going to, what you need to do to go there. I mean, some law schools just require an LSAT and an application, and obviously your transcripts from college. Other law schools require, you know, letters of recommendation, cover letters, writing sample. I mean, just different things. So you want to do your research while you're in college. Take that time. I know a lot of people who are thinking about going to law school or medical school, they front load. So they'll do a lot of work in the first 3 years and they have an extra year. They graduate early and they're able to really think about these things. That's what I did. I front loaded like crazy so that my third year I could really think about, or my fourth year I could really think about where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do in terms of law school, because I knew in the back of my mind that that was going to be what was going to take me where I needed to be in terms of the legal field and my legal career. And so you really want to be thinking and focusing and doing your research at that time regarding what law school best fits you and your needs, whether that be a law school that's local to where your family lives, or a law school that's top ranked because you want to work for a Fortune 500 company, or a law school that just accepts you because you want to work for the county and help the community and do nonprofit work. Whatever it is you want to do, you want to make sure you do your research in college. If you can do your research in high school, even better. But I know a lot of people have the opportunity in college to do the research because they've taken the time to get the good grades, to work hard on the front end, and towards the back end, near graduation, they're able to really think about what they want to do, study for the LSAT, and essentially take the LSAT. Now, we're going to have a separate video altogether about the LSAT, and that will be coming shortly. This video is solely about what steps need to be taken in order to get into the legal field, in order to get to that law school that you've been thinking, dreaming of for so long, and ultimately becoming an attorney. So we'll have a separate and complete video about the LSAT, but I just want to give you the steps in this video. So you've gone through college, you're in your final year prior to graduation, you know exactly what law school you want to go to, you're studying for the LSAT. So this is like the most important thing you can do in terms of preparing you for your legal career. You really want to obtain, I guess, acquire as many legal LSAT courses, materials, documents as possible so that you can do good on this test. Now, the test is offered, I think, twice a year, so you have a couple of chances in taking it prior to submitting your score and attaching it to your law school application. But you really want to take that test seriously, because while grades is a component into certain law schools accepting you, the LSAT is also a huge component. So you want to take that really, really, really seriously. As serious, if not more serious, than you took your school career. Because I honestly, in my opinion, and I don't know the statistics on this, but it appears as though, at least in my situation, the LSAT was more. It's heavily weighed in general as it relates to applying to law school, but it's almost as if it's more heavily weighed than your grades when it comes to law school admissions and applications and things of that nature. So you want to take that really serious. You want to connect with people who have been there, who may have materials. I know myself, when my students come to me, I have 1,000,002 LSAT books and materials because I took it so seriously. I literally bought every book that was on the shelf at my local bookstore, Barnes and Noble, Amazon. You want to acquire as much information as you can so that you can do good on that test. You only have to take it one time. Like I said, you can take the test multiple times, but who wants to do that? You want to be one and done. So do everything you can to get that information. Take that test. I think it's offered in June and October, or at least when I took it, it was offered in June and October. You get your scores back fairly early, and then at that point, the ocean is really at your, I mean, you have all the opportunity at that time to pick where you want to go, because you've done well on the LSAT. You made the grades that you needed to make in order to get to where you want to go. So now, once that's all said and done, you've put your all, you've done this all correctly, stayed on the right path, then you have the opportunity to really hone in on where you want to go. You've already picked out the schools that have caught your attention. Now that's the time. That's the point in time where you can really take your time and figuring out. I mean, obviously you don't want to miss any application deadlines, but that's the time after you've taken the LSAT, after you've done your research, after you've gotten the good grades, finished undergrad, that's the time to really figure out where you want to go. But again, the LSAT is extremely, extremely, extremely important. And like I've stated so many times earlier in this video, we are going to make a completely separate video solely focused on the LSAT. because of its importance. It's just so important. I can't cram it in this video. And so those really are the steps into getting into law school, getting good grades, which again, we all should be doing our entire educational career. And I know that's not practical for everybody. For me, it wasn't practical. I really didn't start getting good grades and taking school seriously until I got to high school. I don't recommend that, but it happens. That's okay. That's okay. Even if you don't start taking school seriously until you get into college, that's okay. It doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter how you start. It matters how you finish. Okay. And so I didn't go to a top tier college. I didn't go to a top tier law school. And I'm practicing in Orange County as a civil litigator with some people who went to Yale, the Stanfords, the Berkeleys, and so it doesn't matter where you start. It matters how you finish. And I finished strong. And if you have the opportunity to have a strong start, great. If you don't, you can still do it. I'm prime example of that. So just take school seriously. Do as much as you can in the community so that you can put that on your resume, and take the LSAT seriously. Those are the three things that are really going to propel you, that are going to set you apart from everybody else. I know it may seem like a lot. It does. You spend so many years in school. You feel like you've missed out on so much. But you know what, guys? It's so worth it. Because by the time you look up, you're still young. You're still in your young age, and you have all of this knowledge and confidence. And some people have wealth, depending on where you practice and what you do. And wealth, it does become worth it. I'm not saying those things make a person happy. I'm not saying those things give a person peace. But if you know you've worked your butt off, you should feel good about yourself, and you should be able to tell yourself, job well done. And so I recommend taking those steps in that order, that in the order that was discussed in this video. And I promise you guys, I promise, you will get into the law school of your dreams. You will go where you want to go. You will finish how you want to finish. But you got to take it seriously. You got to put in the work. It's okay to fall. I've fallen. Anybody who's successful has fallen, has failed, has been rejected, has gone off the course a little bit. It's about getting back on, right? Getting back on that course, getting back on that path. And that's what you have to do in order to really get where you want to go and propel yourself to that legal career that you want to have. So if you guys like this video, please definitely give it a thumbs up. You guys have been doing so good with these videos. I just want to continue and keep that momentum. Give it a thumbs up. Leave comments, guys. Talk to me. I want to interact and communicate with you guys. So please leave comments, and I'll see you in the next one.